and let's get this webinar started. Thank you so much. I'll hand over to Jacob.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, again, everyone welcome, and yeah, of course, in a bit of an unfortunate start, but a quick look to the agenda today. So we're going to start off with a quick introduction to One Click LCA, and then an introduction to JELD-WEN, where Katrine will start presenting about JELD-WEN's EPD journey and current process, diving further into the EPD generation process and usage, and how they use it for eco-design, sustainable products, and digital product passports. And in the end, how JELD-WEN will use One Click LCA for product development circularity. And finally, there will be a live Q&A session. So let's get started with a quick introduction to One Click LCA. So One Click LCA is the world's leading software for manufacturing and construction LCA. So we will work primarily with construction, building LCA, infrastructure LCA, and product LCA, which will be the focus of today. And the platform is global in terms of data, regulations, and compliance and certification schemes, etc. So when we look at what kind of companies we work with manufacturers in all sorts of categories. So manufacturers like JELD-WEN and all sorts of other building product manufacturers. They use our software to create product LCAs and EPDs. On the other side of the industry, we work with architects, engineers, real estate developers, etc., who use our software for the building LCAs. And to quickly touch back on the global platform with global data, I want to quickly mention that One Click LCA's database is currently the world's biggest database. So manufacturers who use our software to create product LCAs and EPDs will not only have access to ecoinvent data, they will also have access to all the published and verified EPDs on a worldwide level. So One Click LCA integrates all published and verified EPDs, not only the ones we help create, but all published EPDs. And like the same goes for the AEC side, so architects, engineers who do building LCAs will also have access to integrated EPDs and LCAs, which can also give an extra aspect of exposure for these manufacturers to the actual customers in the end, who will specify their products into buildings. And yes, I think that's what I had to say before. I wanted to quickly give it over to Katrine.
Yes, hi from my side once again. I am Katrin Sellik, and here to tell the JELD-WEN's story, how we are working with One Click LCA and how we are working with EPDs. So I think I can start my slides now. Yes, they are all nice and visible. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so good. So firstly, really shortly, what are the topics we would like to go through? Firstly, really shortly about JELD-WEN, who we are, what we do, about our sustainability team there who works with EPDs. Then I'd like to share some insights of how the journey with One Click LCA started, and how we are actually doing now, because those are pretty different experiences. And then I would already share the EPD generation process, how we are working in JELD-WEN to get the EPDs in place, and then how we actually use the EPDs. There is list of different uses for them, and yeah, that's shortly. I will now go on and jump to the content. So firstly, the introduction. So JELD-WEN is a global company. We are headquartered in Charlotte, US. and we are a global leading high performance interior and exterior building product producer, mainly producing windows, interior, exterior doors, and wall systems. If we leave the US side aside, then in Europe we have currently 26 factories in 12 countries, around 7,000 employees. And in Europe, we are producing wooden doors, door frames, wall systems, and also steel doors and steel door frames. So that is shortly who we are. So then I would just really shortly like to introduce the kind of the true team of heroes we have, the sustainability team, which we actually formed in 2022, and it only started with 3 people, myself and actually 2 people only focusing on FSC and PFSC. But then you could say that we used the EPDs and the need for EPDs as a business case, and that has actually been the main reason why we have expanded to 9 people now in the team in 24. We have actually 5 sustainability specialists who are like the EPD experts. So that's quite a lot compared to the beginning. And yeah, as already said, one of the main reasons we have expanded are the EPDs and the need for EPDs. And yeah, right now we are serving the entire European organization, where we have the Northern Europe, Central and UK and France regions. So, but then the story how we started with One Click LCA. Actually, this story also goes back to 2022, beginning of 2022, when we signed the contract with One Click LCA. We had some research on the market, who would be the perfect provider for us, as we knew already that the number of EPDs we want to generate and publish is pretty big. Then actually we only found that One Click LCA would be the only one who would meet our needs. So yeah, we decided to sign the contract. We signed for the expert license because yeah, it has some really great extras that we saw we could benefit, and I think that was a really correct decision. And actually in 2022, when we started, we had, yeah, as I said, pretty big scope. Our sales team had assessed around 80 EPDs, what we must have, definitely for the Nordics market. And for those 80 EPDs, there was one person, that was me, working with the EPDs. So you can imagine the amazing bottleneck I was at that time for the process. So yeah, 2022 was really tough from that side, you could say, because yeah, I was visiting I think 9 sites in 2022, collecting the EPD data, at the same time training the sites, and at the same time doing the onboarding training for One Click EPD generation myself. So kind of run several processes at the same time. And you could say that back in 2022, the One Click LCA system itself was a bit more manual and time consuming as well compared to what it is today. So to illustrate that, I actually used as background here on this slide one of the, so to say, manual tables what we needed to generate to use the data in the One Click modeling. So yeah, combining all this huge scope, a lot of manual work, being only one there in the team, and collecting the data and onboarding, then yeah, of course we noticed pretty soon that this kind of process, how we started, was not really sustainable. So from here, I will jump to the next slide, showing what we do differently today and what we have changed. So yeah, I would say that it's day and night comparing 2022 with 2024. So yeah, firstly, we are really happy that the One Click LCA system itself is more automated. We only need like few things in Excel, and everything else the system can help us there. So the process has become a lot faster from that point of view. And also the second thing we love is the automated verification and publication process, where we can just click a button and basically the EPD is sent to EPD Hub for verification and publication. So this is really convenient. Yeah, and as I mentioned at the beginning, we actually have now 5 people who are working with EPDs, and yeah, they yeah, I would like to say that they are the real stars here, because yeah, the change they have brought to the EPD life for JELD-WEN is amazing. Together with adding new people working with EPDs, we have implemented the EPD generation process inside our company ourselves, knowing exactly what, how, and why needs to be done. And yeah, from by 24, by right now, it has brought us to the situation that we actually have 48 EPDs currently available for Nordic market, and 10 we have right now for Nordic market under verification. We have 4 EPDs available for UK market. 1 EPD ready, actually can also be seen on this slide, for France, for French market, and 3 for French market under verification. So yeah, just an additional side note that as the France and French market is really different and the verification process is different compared to the rest of the Europe, then we are additionally happy that One Click LCA is able to help us there as well, and help us generate the EPDs in a way that the French INES verifier also finds them suitable. So yeah, you could say that with EPDs we are also now covering pretty much all the Europe, and yeah, we are doing really well compared to the 2022. But then few words about the process on very high level, what we have in place for EPD generation. So the first point, of course, is identifying the products for EPDs, and there, of course, we are doing cooperation with our sales and product management teams, who are then prioritizing the products for us and showing from where, what, and yeah, in what kind of scope we need to cover to be able to provide the EPDs on the market. And yeah, at this moment, I would say that as we were happy that we have over 50 EPDs in place already, we still see that actually, if we look the entire Europe, we have 100 plus products still in pipeline, where we need to generate the EPDs. So we are very well aware that we need to act fast and yeah, work with the same focus that we have right now, to cover the products before we need to start updating the existing EPDs. So yeah, we have quite a huge scope ahead of us. Then yeah, for us, I would say that the most time-consuming part, now that everything else is kind of automated in the modeling system, is actually the data collection part, where yeah, if possible or suitable or needed, we will actually visit the sites from where we collect the data, and yeah, then of course we use the site specialists and experts to help to review the data and actually give us the allocation side, what is also needed for EPDs, because we are not located in any of the sites ourselves in sustainability team, so we need the local help there to be able to allocate and give us the details that we wouldn't know ourselves. Yes, and then another thing that we usually like to do on site is that if we go to a new place who has not worked with us for EPDs before, then we also do the EPD training for the site to raise the awareness, why, and why it's important. Sites are different. I could say that the Danish sites, probably if I could take this example, they are pretty aware themselves, so they are welcoming us happily on site to help them working with EPDs. But then there might be some sites for whom it's like just something they need to help us with, and then we feel that we need to train them a bit. But then after collecting data, we have the EPD generation and verification step, where actually we have 6 active EPD users in One Click system right now. We have 2 floating seats, and we have seen that it might happen that several people want to use the system at the same time. So actually we have generated kind of meeting rooms for One Click LCA in our own Outlook system. So we are booking the working slots, and this also gives kind of nice and quiet time to actually deep dive into the numbers and modeling. So this has worked really well as well. And for the verifying side and publication, then as there are several people working with EPDs, we like to do the, so to say, bulk verifications. As I said, right now we gave in 10 EPDs at the same time for verification, and we use the EPD hub. I think we mainly, probably we have had 2 different verifiers, but a lot of EPDs are verified by the same verifier actually. So it's really convenient that the verifier already knows our processes, knows our products more or less. So it makes the process a lot easier, and I think reduces the number of questions we get, because some things are already settled. Then the next in the next part I'll give an overview how we actually use the EPDs today. As I said before, there are quite many different uses, and I have a gut feeling that probably in the time the use only will increase, and we will find some additional ways how we can benefit from EPDs and life cycle assessments. But as of today, of course, the market is requiring the EPDs for building life cycle assessments. The EPD is like one input. Our EPD gives the standardized and transparent verified data for our products, as construction materials to the entire building life cycle assessment. And we have seen that the EPDs are also used by architects, engineers, and developers to also, before actually jumping into the building life cycle assessment modeling, to do some choices, which materials are sustainable, which are not. Although we usually like to highlight that if they start comparing the EPDs, they need to be really careful, because not all the EPDs are so well comparable. But anyhow, even if they are not comparing them, they need the EPDs as input for building life cycle assessment. And another thing is that the building life cycle assessment requirements right now, as we see them, they really differ market by market. I think, again, if we said that in Denmark our factories were pretty well aware of the need of EPDs, then maybe it is because in Denmark we have seen one of the strictest rules, you could say. There are the exact limit values for CO2 equivalents per square meter of building. They are tightening the limit values over the years, and as well we see that actually the building square meters from where they have set the threshold where the building life cycle assessment is needed is actually brought to smaller and smaller. So yeah, there are some forerunners as Denmark in that area, and then there are some countries where they are still okay to use more generic data, or where the building life cycle assessments are really not in place yet. But we only see that the need will increase, and eventually, after a few years, I think everyone will pretty much be like Denmark. So we want to be ready for that. Secondly, there are building certification schemes on the market which are very actively used by the building companies, and actually EPD can contribute there for the schemes like here are just some examples like LEED, DGMB, BREEAM, then some German schemes like QNG, BNB. But I think that there are more. These are just some of the examples that we meet most often, where we get the requests, and yeah, basically for these EPDs like must as well lately, because yeah, they building companies to get the certificate, they really want to get the extra points from us for the EPDs. So yeah, it's again a requested evidence document that we see is becoming more and more like a must for the building certification schemes. Then we have that's a like really wide topic, but the customer expectations, because of course the building certification schemes, those were customer expectations as well, and the building certification schemes, they were also customer expectations, but then on top of that we have some big customers like retail companies who just keep their databases which their customers can use, where they want to have the EPD data available. So in this kind of database, it's just giving a signal to the customers of the retail company that okay, what suppliers are working with EPDs and what suppliers care about the product environmental footprint, and what companies do not care about that. So yeah, of course we wouldn't want to look bad in those databases either. So it's like it could be like a tick in the box exercise, but then again, it's really creating the overall image and helping out there. Then of course there are customers who are really more focused to sustainability, and they actually want to understand the environmental footprint of our products, even without using them directly to some building certification scheme, but they just want to have the understanding. And yeah, of course it's something that, as I already said, that gives an overall more broader understanding that if a company is working with sustainability topics or not. So yeah, that was about the customer expectations. Then, if we jump to the climate goals, then firstly looking into JELD-WEN ourselves, we have a goal, our corporate global goal, that we have net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. However, this is only something that has been set for scope 1 and scope 2 emissions. And one of the reasons probably is that we are a global company, as said, and the US part actually is not so far ahead with sustainability topics as we are in Europe. So yeah, we could say that from Europe point of view, we don't have very ambitious goals, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to be better in Europe. So actually, in Europe, we also use the EPDs and the life cycle assessments to understand and calculate our own scope 3 emissions. We have seen our US ESG team also being really excited about the EPDs and the One Click LCA system itself. We also have some users to our license from US. And yeah, they are also sometimes calculating the greenhouse gas emissions of some factory or site using One Click LCA. But yeah, I think in Europe we do that in more structured and more structured way. And yeah, we use the EPDs, we use the system itself, sometimes without EPDs, but yeah, we want to understand where we are regarding scope 3 emission. And also we have some big customers in Europe who are measuring their own scope 3 emissions, and for that, of course, they need our input. And that's another part where we can firstly use our EPDs, but then some parts where the EPDs are not enough, then we again can jump into One Click LCA and do some extra research to give the data they need. So yeah, it's not only the EPDs, but overall the possibilities in One Click LCA that we use for scope 3. And actually, also, if we look into reducing the scope 3 emissions, then once we have the understanding and knowledge from EPDs and from modeling in the system, we can say that we already know some points we need to do to bring the scope 3 emissions down. Firstly, of course, we see that we need to start pushing our suppliers as well to provide us verified EPDs, so we would have more precise data ourselves. We see that if we switch to renewable energy, then we can reduce the scope 3 emissions. At the same time, we also see when modeling the EPDs that the transportation distance of raw materials is important. So we can give a signal to our sourcing team that if they source from more local suppliers, we could get better results. And yeah, then we also know that the recycled content, especially if we look into steel and aluminium, is very important when it comes to the results of either EPDs or then the scope 3 emissions. Yes, so but from our own internal work, I now have a few slides about the legislation and how the EPDs help us there to get ready for the legislation. So firstly, yeah, I guess we all know the amazing CSRD and EU taxonomy regulations coming towards us. So yeah, both of them actually need the standardized environmental data. The CSRD is actually something that also comes from the double materiality assessment, where we also So when we did the assessment for JELD-WEN, that having the EPDs made the process a bit smoother, and then it is eventually facilitating again this scope 3 emissions reporting that I already mentioned before. And one main thing which is common to both the EU taxonomy and the CSRD is that we have the transparent and accountable data, which is something we can claim when we have the verified EPDs. So standardized, verified, and transparent is something both of those legislations look for, and the EPDs match the need there. Okay. But then the CSRD and EU taxonomy are not, of course, the only things coming towards us and what we already need to be working with. We have the ecodesign for sustainable products regulation, focusing on making products more energy and resource efficient, setting rules on carbon and environmental footprints, and limiting the generation of waste, improving the availability of information on product sustainability. So those points, of course, there are more points in the eco-design for sustainable products regulation, but these points are, as we see, exactly the ones where EPDs can help us out, because the EPDs contribute to all those points in here. And the digital product passports, which come from the eco-design for sustainable products regulation, are another big thing coming towards the producers. I think there is still quite a lot of uncertainty in the digital product passport area. We have some discussions on daily level here to understand what is actually the year that digital product passports will be mandatory for us. However, nevertheless, the year or how exactly, we know that the digital product passports need to report also the data about the environmental impacts of the products. And again, if the data is standardized and transparent as the EPD is able to provide, then we see that it is exactly what we need for the digital product passports. As the EPDs look into products' entire life cycle, starting from raw materials, production, distribution, and end of life phases, then this is something that matches exactly the digital product passport expectation. Although we are still very excitedly looking to the future to understand what is the exact content that the digital product passport must hold. But as I said, it seems that the EPD is a must there, and it helps us a lot further with the digital product passport implementation by having the data and having it in a verified format. So that's also why we need to focus to cover those 100+ EPDs in Europe, what I mentioned before, because we would really like to be ready for the implementation of the passports. But then from the legislation, I'll jump back to the JELD-WEN internal world, where we are actually also using the One Click LCA system, and not definitely the EPDs, but the system itself for our product development, especially for new product development and product changes, where we are doing the cooperation with our R&D team, who has actually also understood that we have this amazing tool in our hands, and they can actually turn to us when they are doing the product developments or any changes in the product to get the sustainability evaluation of the change. Of course, the CO2 footprint is not the only thing we look into, but that has become a huge thing. So actually, when they have some new plans, they come to us saying, okay, we would like to change, for example, the core material in the door. As you can see on the slide, we might have their chipboard or flaxboard or some MDF or solid wood parts. So yeah, whatever they want to change in the product, we are happy to help there to assess actually what would the change be from the global warming potential point of view, because yeah, that is the main number we are actually interested right now. It might change in the future, but yeah, right now we are focusing on the GWP. And yeah, we model the kind of test products in One Click LCA system to understand that if we change, for example, the core, what will happen with GWP? If we switch from ordinary aluminium to some recycled content aluminium, how big is the win? And yeah, that has been really great, helping with our product development in that area. And actually, we do the same if the sourcing team wants to bring some new suppliers or solutions on the table, some materials we haven't used so far. So we are happy to do the test modelings for those cases as well. And we also compare our own different products and different constructions, because sometimes, yeah, as our sales and product management people have become pretty well trained regarding the life cycle assessments and product environmental footprint, then sometimes even they come to us with questions that, okay, if we compare, for example, this one exterior door with this another one, what would you say? What are the main things that contribute to the GWP, and what is the better one? What we could recommend to customers based on the life cycle assessment results. So yeah, I think to summarize this slide, I could say that a huge part of our organization is well aware that we have a tool in our hands, this One Click LCA tool that can help us a lot, actually, not only having the check mark that we have the EPD, but actually taking some additional benefits from the system. So, and then yeah, if we look also into the full life cycle, and not only the new product development, but also the again a future huge topic that we see, not anymore a future actually, but ongoing huge topic, all the circular economy and circularity requirements. Then I think it was actually this year where we started to use One Click LCA to also understand the impacts of circularity of our products. Oops. Okay. So yeah, shortly, as we have some small projects, pilot projects ongoing in JELD-WEN to understand what is the benefit if we take back our own doors from the market, refurbish them and sell them as second-hand products, or if we use some new materials which are fully like 100% recycled. What does that mean from the environmental footprint point of view? So actually, yeah, we were really eager to investigate the topic with the help of One Click LCA, and if I remember correctly, we ordered in an extra training from One Click to understand how to model those different possibilities in the tool, and how to get the exact data of what is the impact then. And yes, it is greatly helpful, again, the One Click LCA tool, to see that, okay, the reuse of doors and selling the second-hand doors is really the most beneficial. Of course, what we could also figure out, but yeah, having the more recycled content is beneficial from GVP point of view, and yeah, we are still going on using the tool for our future projects as well, because yeah, we know that our R&D and sourcing team have quite some projects in the pipeline, and yeah, as we are interested in circularity ourselves as well, we are happy that we can really understand also from the environmental footprint side what does that really mean. So yeah, that is an extra great advantage that we got from One Click LCA. So, and that was actually short-lived. I think I made in time. So yeah.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Katrin, for your presentation today. I will take over from Jacob, and my name is Frida, and I work with Sustainability Communications at One Click LCA. So let's go ahead and go forward. So before we move on to the Q&A today, we want to see if you're interested to know more about One Click LCA's solution. And our business team of local carbon expert would love to provide a tailored demo to show you how this software might work in action for your needs. So you will shortly see a live poll asking if you would like to book a demo with One Click LCA. So click yes in the poll if you would like for us to contact you and book a demo, or you can press no if you would like to do this at another time. So now you would see a poll where you can answer yes or no. So now let's move on to the live Q&A. So let's see if we have received any questions. So yes, we have one. Can the team share some insights to what site training involves as part of EPD development process, please? So also we have Michaela with us today, if she can join us on stage. So this is Michaela, EPD Customer Success Specialist, here to help us answer any EPD questions. So welcome, Michaela.
Thank you. Yeah, so I will just answer any more technical questions.
Yes. So are you able to answer this question? Can the team share some insights to what site training involves as part of the EPD development process?
Yes, of course, on really high level again, but basically, firstly, we introduce what is the EPD, that this is a life cycle assessment, what modules we look into, like the raw materials, the production stage, then transport to the construction site, and we go through the kind of the things we look into, end of life, and yeah, all the life cycle steps. Then huge focus is actually on the why side, to make the sites aware that they are actually contributing to something which has a big impact for our company, going through the same reasoning, basically, that we want to contribute to the building life cycle assessments. We have add some insights, how big is the overall footprint of the building industry. I think that's also some figures we got from the onboarding training from One Click, showing them that actually the building sector has a huge impact, and then going through some of the more market related needs, like the green certification schemes for buildings, the future needs, so that basically helping us to be compliant with the legislation and all this. So yeah, that's half of it. It is like motivational, I could say, that helps them to understand that it's actually a huge thing that we are working with. And yeah, then the other half is explaining what is the EPD and what steps are covered by it.
Thank you for sharing. Michaela had to leave suddenly, so we will see if we get any more questions if we can't answer them right now, we will of course get back to you. Let's see, we got another question. So how long did it take for JELD-WEN to publish their first EPD?
That's a tough question because, yeah, as I said, we started in 2022 with all the struggle that I described. And actually the first one that I did my onboarding training with, that was not the one we published firstly, mainly because I was so overloaded with all the other steps. But actually, I think we published the first one in 2023. But yeah, probably that would be a learning point here, that don't repeat the same mistake. Don't start with a so huge scope that you can't handle that yourself, because otherwise I would say that that the first EPD should be published within, if we take the onboarding training, plus a month maybe. So that would be fair. But yeah, as I was kind of multitasking, then it didn't happen. So it took a year for us. But in real world, if the process is logical, then yeah, as I said, it should take the onboarding time plus a month.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think we have any more questions today. So thank you so much for joining us today, Katrine. We just have one final little slide for all of you. So we like to invite you to join us at our Winter Sustainability Summit 2024 that we have on Thursday, December 5th. And this is a free online global event which is focused on how smart material choices drive decarbonization in construction. And you'll be joining over 3,000 professionals and gaining insights from industry leaders like Lindab, Arcadis, Hilti, Gensler, VSP, and more. And this Sustainability Summit will provide you with actionable ideas to reduce carbon in your projects and align with sustainable practices. And this is accessible across 7 time zones. It's a unique opportunity to connect with global experts in sustainable constructions. So I will share a link in the chat if you would like to register for this event. And thank you so much for everyone participating today. And we are so sorry for the technical inconvenience in the beginning. So thank you so much, Katrine, and thank you for everyone joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.